Look. That's thelonious. In case you're wondering who I talk about. That's the name of my car. Dude, my tire guy looks just like gogol bordello. You know, I was thinking that the reason why people are so addicted to their phones is because of homogenization. It's not just because they're piece of shit drug addicts that were waiting for an excuse to distract themselves. It's because that's what everybody else is doing. So, it's not that big of a deal to do something, even if it's detrimental to your well-being, if everybody else is doing something detrimental to their well-being, you know? That's why people like to drink in bars, because they don't have to question their drinking problem. And I'm not saying that if you drink, you have a drinking problem. But what I'm saying is that it's way easier to have a drinking problem in a bar, you know, because you don't have to stop. Because like the whole purpose of that bar is to provide you alcohol, you know, and that's what you see with food. I mean, that's why I say what I say about obesity, that, you know, much like Lewis Black, you know, talked about IHOP being his health club. I really believe that that is a lot of why, you know, most people will never lose weight, most people will never start exercising, and it's a multifaceted addiction oriented lifestyle, where people don't have to ever be held accountable for the way that they're self-destructing. I mean, there's this chick I go to church with who's really fucking big. Like, she's huge, okay? Like, she's probably pushing like 300 pounds. And, I feel sorry for her, because she's gotten to this point where, you know, why stop now? And you know, she's really abrasive. And so like any time that like she complains about anything, I just feel like people are a lot less likely to take her seriously because of how big she is. And I think that that's true of a lot of people. You know, like, because I'm sure that that's how they view me as well. You know, like, oh, well, you're crazy. If you have schizophrenia, why should I listen to you? Exactly. Oh, yeah, and I'm not on medication, too, so you really can't trust me. You know, because I actually practice what I preach in this motherfucker. Ooh. Well, see, I hate technology. That's why I still have a flip phone. It's not that I think that having a flip phone is gonna stop the overlords at fucking Verizon, you know. But it's more about my personal decision and my mindset, and I'm a lot healthier of a person because I don't have this piece of technology that is encouraging me to be boring, okay? Because there's nothing more boring than sitting in a public place and staring at your phone. It's like, there's so much in this world, like still, even though most people are on their phones, there's still so much that you could pay attention to. There's still so much going on. And I think about that all the time. Like, I'll see things that I'm convinced most people don't see, and not just because of the schizophrenia, but like, like things that happen like right in front of me that most people aren't paying attention to because they're staring at their little TV. And I'm just really grateful that I never allowed myself to succumb to that, all because people made fun of me or because people just didn't understand. And, you know, they're like, well, it's futile, Amy, it's futile. It's not futile, you stupid fuck. It's not futile at all, because I live a life that I don't have to rationalize. It's like if I want to do that shit, I just start drinking again, you know? I don't get a smartphone, I just get a bottle of vodka and go to town on that motherfucker. But that's the thing. Like, people that make excuses are the types of people that aren't happy with their life. They're the types of people that consistently do things to ruin themselves, and then they want to blame somebody else. And these are typically the people that spend the most time on the internet talking shit about other people's content because they don't want to just accept that their life is shit and then do something to correct it, you know? And that's really sad to me. You only have one life, son. You have one life in this life, and you're gonna waste it just trashing people on the internet. You know, somebody had said something, one of my other videos where I was talking about alcoholism, and they said, what a waste of life. And I was like, yeah, you're right. But the thing is, though, like, I'd like to believe that I'm not wasting my life anymore. I mean, when I started doing this YouTube channel, like, I started to feel better about a lot of these things that have really, what's the word? I don't like a lot of the terminology that people use about mental illness, because I think that they make it seem like it's way more extreme than it actually is. And I think this is part of the problem. You know, when they use terms like suffer, that just really pisses me off. I mean, depression sucks, but it's not a burn unit. You know what I mean? Like, y'all motherfuckers are pussies. And I'm not saying that it doesn't mean anything at all, you know, and I think that that's the issue, is that people are so black or white about things. It's like it either doesn't exist at all, we're going to completely deny it, sweep it under the rug, and that's the boomer generation to a T, or millennials and Gen Z that gotta exaggerate every motherfucking thing and act like it's so hard. Life is so hard. It's very hard. It's very hard. I mean, I will totally admit that. It's very, very hard. But when you whine and you embellish things for attention, that doesn't help you. It might help you in the short term, because you're getting the attention that you want. You're getting that instant gratification. But then you're going to keep needing that to satisfy you. That's why it doesn't make sense in the long term. But anyway, it's, yeah, most people aren't going to get what I do on this channel, but that's okay. I'm not doing it for most people. I'm doing it for people like me. And I do know that it's God's will because of the types of people that flock to me. So it's women, homosexuals, and autistic dudes that want to fuck me. That last part I don't like. But, like I said, I can't control it. Once it's out. Like, I have no control over how people view it. And I really don't have much control over anything but myself anyway, right? I mean, if you can't control yourself, what makes you think you control other people? I would totally write books if I was motivated, but instead I do this channel where I don't have to, like, sit down and, like, take the time to, like, write all this stuff and edit it and things like that, you know? If I'm not even editing my videos, why would I write a book? My friend Ronit, I talked to her last night, she really wants to write with me. And I told her, I was like, look, everybody that wants to write with me is because they're too lazy to do it on their own. And they use me. You know, they want to use me for my immeasurable talent. But, you know, before I was doing comedy, before I started doing stand-up, I was actually in the process of writing a screenplay about mental illness. And then it occurred to me after I started doing stand-up, why don't you just put yourself on YouTube and just showcase what this is? And so it really was like me getting on stage and taking that first step that initiated all of this that you see. All this personal growth, this radical transformation of my political and religious beliefs, this radical transformation in the way that I looked at my parents and my upbringing and everything. It's literally because I took one step, and that step was on stage. You know, and I fucking hate it. I don't want to say I have stage fright, but I still don't like being up there. It's very nerve-wracking. But yeah, I mean, the kinds of people that are like, your comedy sucks, you're not funny. Have you ever tried comedy? It's probably the hardest thing in the world. So, you know, comedians have the utmost respect for me because they know how hard it is. And they also know what inspires a person to do comedy is usually not happy stuff. You know, comedy is a defense. So anybody that does it is probably on the defense mode a lot of the time. But yeah, there are a lot of people though that they just think that, oh, because they don't find something funny, it's not funny. Are you a boomer too? Because boomers think that rap isn't music. I mean, I don't think dubstep is music, but at the same time, I'm not gonna like tell people to listen to it that it's not music because they like it. They enjoy it. They get something out of it. I don't. I just get a fucking headache. But that doesn't mean that those people aren't doing anything. You know? It's like, I had to come to terms with this about myself, that, you know, I prefer it when people play instruments, but there's a lot of amazing music that you can make on a computer. There's a lot involved in that too. It's a major process. Just ask Grimes. She's a genius. And you know, Beethoven had haters. I'm sure that people thought that he was out of his fucking mind since he was deaf. It's almost like he was playing music out of spite, you know? But like, yeah, I just think about the most talented people and how much hate they have gotten from people that don't have as much talent, or maybe they have a different kind of talent and they're jealous, or they see them as like a competition, you know? Well, I think that the true artists are probably not going to do that, because they understand and value art as a whole, and they think that it's really important, and so it doesn't matter if, you know, it's well received. It doesn't matter if people like it and think it's good, and they talk highly of it. I swear, I just say the same thing over and over again, don't I? Like, let's find 20 different ways to say the same shit. But, yeah, I mean, I do know that what I do is important. Because of the feedback that I've gotten. Including negative feedback, you know? It's fine. I'll take them any way they come.